Hi and welcome to the second iteration video on Kirby Maths, and this involves rearranging iterative formula. So you will get a exam question which will have a show that phrase in it, and I've taken one here and we're using the formula from the previous iteration video. X cubed plus 4x minus 7 is equal to 0, and we're being asked to show that this formula can be written as something that looks really awful. So the problem with this formula, and the reason it looks really awful, is because it's got a cube root in it. It's also got a suffix on the bottom of this x, which says n plus 1, and a suffix or a subscript on this x, which says xn. Now, these subscripts at the bottom here, we can just ignore, okay, because we're not going to look at those until one of the other videos about the iterative formula. So we're just going to assume that they're not there. Now, when we're doing a show that, we have a clue in this formula that tells us how we are going to rearrange the one that we have been given. And the clue here is the cube root. Okay, so the cube root gives us a clue that we are going to make the x cubed the subject of the equation. Okay, so make x cubed the subject. That means that we're going to end up with x cubed equals something. Blah, blah. And that's the clue that we have got. So if we go back to the original equation, let's write that out. So x cubed plus 4x minus 7 equals 0. We start rearranging and we're trying to get this x cubed term on its own. First thing I'm going to do is add 7 to both sides. So x cubed plus 4x is equal to 7. Then I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides in order to get the x cubed on its own. I have x cubed is equal to 7 minus 4x. And finally, to get this to be x on its own, which I've got an x on its own in the original formula, I'm going to cube root each side. So we end up with x is equal to the cube root of 7 minus 4x. And if you look at this and compare it to what we were asked to do, the only thing that's missing is these subscripts. So we have done what we've been asked to do, and once you've done that, you need to write as required because you have done what they asked you to do. Now, you could be asked to rearrange exactly the same formula in a different way, and if I just show you this down here, if we start off with x cubed, so that's the main bit finished, if we start off with x cubed plus 4x minus 7 equals 0, and we are asked to show that, it can be written as x, again those subscripts we don't need to worry about for the minute, is equal to 7 minus x cubed over 4. This time our clue is that we don't have any cube roots or anything, so we're just going to deal with the x term, and in this case it's the 4x that we're going to try and make the subject. So if I start off with x cubed plus 4x minus 7 equals 0, I'm rearranging now to try and make x the subject. Add 7 to both sides, x cubed plus 4x equals 7. Take x cubed from both sides, 4x is equal to 7 minus x cubed, and then I just want 1x because this bit here just got 1x. Divide both sides by 4 and I get x is equal to 7 minus x cubed all over 4, and again as required. So you're not always asked to rearrange and get the thing with the power, here the x cubed, to be the x on its own. Sometimes you're asked to rearrange so that you've already got the single power of x on its own. Okay, thank you.